Hey YouTube! I am back and it's been a long time since I did a video. But don't worry, everything's okay. I've been super busy with my knitting and other things, so I haven't had time to make a video. But tonight I thought I'd do one for you guys since I miss making a video. So usually I would show you my knitting projects, but tonight I thought I'd do a movie review. I thought I'd do one on one of my favorite Disney movies, The Little Mermaid. And as you know, The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite Disney movies. It's been my favorite since I was a little girl. I used to love watching that movie growing up, and I still do till this day. So yeah, so here's my review. And as you know, Ariel is one of my favorite Disney princesses. I love her singing. I love the design they made. You know, how they made her fins, her, what do you call it, her little top that they animated, and her hair is so pretty. Yeah, I just love how they animated it. Flounder's pretty funny too. And Sebastian. Yeah. And I know this sounds weird, but I know a lot of people don't like villains, and I'm not crazy for villains either. But I gotta tell you, Ursula's one of my favorite villains. I don't know, like I see she has a little comical in her. Yeah. So yeah, and I just love how they animated the movie. Like I just love how they made a castle under the sea, and I just love how I just love the inside of the kingdom. It's like it's so pretty, and it's amazing how when you're a mermaid you breathe underwater, but when we go swimming we have to hold our breath, and if we breathe underwater we drown. So yeah, I I just love how they animated it. And I'm looking forward to the live action movie of The Little Mermaid. I just I'm looking forward to how Halle Bailey's gonna betray Ariel. Like I wonder if she's gonna sing just like Ariel or do the same things Ariel did in the original. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to, listening to their new songs. And yeah, I wonder how they're going to film the movie. If they're going to use CGI or they're going to film it underwater. I'm curious about that. But it doesn't come out till next year. I thought, oh man, I have to wait another year? That sucks. But anyhow, yeah, when they picked Halle Bailey to play the role of Ariel, I know there was a lot of, you know, there was a lot of racist comments. I mean, come on. Okay, I get that Ariel's white, but look at Brandy. She played Cinderella, and come on, no one said anything about her. At least I don't think. I don't even remember. But I think Halle Bailey's going to do a pretty good job playing Ariel. I can see it in her. Like, I see like her personality is all giddy, just like Ariel's. I think she's gonna do good. And when I watched Little Mermaid live, because it was the 30th anniversary, that movie came out in 1989. I wasn't even born yet. So yeah, and I just love it how Alawi portrayed the role of Ariel. That's amazing. Moana playing Ariel, like a Disney princess playing a Disney princess. Like how amazing was that? Yeah, and I remember my mom and myself were talking, and my good friend Mr. D, his name is Darish, but we call him Mr. D for short, and he also loves Little Mermaid, and Ariel is his favorite Disney princess. So we were talking because the time we were talking about Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock, we were talking about him playing the role of King Triton, and we were talking about the times like I could imagine playing him. Oh, he would have nailed it. He played Maui in Moana, but I can picture him playing King Triton. That would have been sick. Like, I was disappointed that they didn't pick an actor playing the role of King Triton for The Little Mermaid live, because it was animated and live action at the same time. But it was a pretty good show. And oh my gosh, John Stamos as Chef Louis. Oh, don't get me started. I just couldn't imagine. Part of me was laughing. Well, I'm still laughing. I was like, oh god. Like, I remember John Stamos when he played Uncle Jesse on Full House, and me and my friend were like, John Stamos as Chef Louis. I thought, oh god, I can't. It was just gonna be too funny. Like Uncle Jesse playing Chef Louis. Oh man. Like, I don't know what other words to say, but I thought it was pretty funny when he played Chef Louis. Oh man. Yeah, and Shaggy did a good job playing Sebastian too. Also known as Mr. Boombastic. And Queen Latifah, she did a good job playing Ursula. I just love how they I don't know if that's the right word, like choreographed, or like, they made the stage like the actual movie was. Yeah. So I thought it was pretty good. Graham Phillips, he did good playing Eric. Oh my gosh, when they did the beginning of Fathoms Below, um, I just loved in the Little Mermaid Live how all the audience were participating and they were pretending to be the water. Like, that's pretty cool. And at first, how in the movie Eric has his dog Max. And then when I saw that part, I thought, oh my god, is that a real dog? And I'm like, oh, it is. Oh, my heart just melted. They included a real dog and he looked just like Max. Oh my gosh. And I love dogs. They're my favorite animals. So yeah. And I just love how, in the movie, here's my thought. I just love how in the Little Mermaid movie, they made it a happy ending, because I love happy endings. Because she got to marry Eric at the end. And I don't know if you know, but they also did a sequel to Little Mermaid, The Little Mermaid 2, when they had their daughter Melody. And some of my friends told me that I look like Melody. I look a little bit like her. I've got the black hair. I don't have the colored eyes, but I guess you could say I look a little bit like her. So yeah. Yeah, that's what I loved about the first Little Mermaid. She got to marry her prince. Because I read the book on The Little Mermaid, the original by Hans Christian Andersen. Oh, I cried at the end. Because you know why? The Little Mermaid dies at the end. My heart was broken. Because, she was in love with the prince, but the prince was in love with somebody else. That poor mermaid. My heart was broken. Because in the original, if she didn't find love, she was going to turn into sea foam, which means she was going to disappear from her human body and go live up in heaven. My heart was aching for her. And that's why I was glad that Disney changed it into a happy ending. I think it makes more sense because, Disney always had happy endings because they don't want the little kids to cry. They want the little kids to be happy, so that's why they changed it. I'm glad they did too. Yeah. And I know in the book that the prince falls in love with another woman, but I thought it was interesting that Ursula turns herself into a woman, so Eric doesn't, keep falling in love with Ariel. But I just loved it how he found out that it was Ariel the whole time. Because, he was falling in love with her singing, and he's trying to find who, where that voice was coming from. Yeah. I think there's a similar movie to that. I think Camp Rock, when Demi Lovato was playing her song "This Is Me," and Joe Jonas was finding out where was that song coming from. So I guess you could say it's kind of similar, but I don't know. But I just loved it how they ended up together, Ariel and Eric, and then they had a daughter together. I just love it. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't have much to say, but that was my review on The Little Mermaid. But all I can say is that it's always going to be my favorite no matter what. So, I hope you all had a good night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, YouTube!